Computers revolutionize our life because it can perform various tasks in an efficient and reliable way. The tasks that a computer can perform include many business operations and daily life applications. The purpose is to increase our productivity and hopefully also our quality of life. For example, a company would have to rely on its human resource system to handle its payroll, and a university would have to rely on its student record system to keep track of the students' progress. Nowadays, there are programs that you can control appliances, often known as smart appliances, at home through mobile devices, so that, for example, meals could be prepared before you return home. Some commonly used application software can be grouped into the following categories. The first is productivity software. For example, Microsoft Word for preparing documents, Excel or Access for creating databases, and PowerPoint for preparing presentations like what I'm using here. One can easily see that document processing application software make a big difference when one compares the effort required in producing a report using nowadays computer and a typewriter 20 to 30 years ago. I guess most of you have probably never used or seen a typewriter before. Another kind of application software that I'm sure many of you are familiar with are communication software, especially those that you use to communicate through the internet. You can use internet browser such as Internet Explorer, Safari, Chrome, or Firefox to search for information over the World Wide Web. Many of you communicate with your friends through email or Facebook. In the past, most books and documents consist of mostly text, as it was not easy and often costly to include pictures and figures. But with advances in multimedia tools such as Photoshop, one can easily create documents with nice graphics and images, or even video. In fact, a lot of paper media have been replaced by electronic media, including newspapers and magazines. Recently, because of advances in mobile technology, including mobile network and mobile devices such as smartphones and tablets, the use and availability of mobile application software, or mobile apps, have increased very rapidly. There are mobile apps for playing games. I'm sure many of you have heard of Candy Crush, and communicate with others, for example, using WhatsApp or WeChat, entertainment apps for listening to music or watch movies, navigation apps such as Google Maps for providing directions to travel from place to place, and many, many more. One good news is that many of these apps are written in Java, so you can put your Java programming skills into good use after this course, if you're interested in writing your own apps. I want to mention one more types of softwares that have gained popularity in educational organizations, such as HKUST. We are using a learning management system in delivering this course. The current system that we are using at HKUST is called LMES, which was developed in-house based on an open-source learning environment called Sakai. There are other learning management systems, such as Blackboard, Moodle, and Canvas. Through using learning management systems, courses could be delivered online to off-campus locations, and it could also be used to deliver courses using blended learning mode by combining online materials with face-to-face in-class interactions, like what I have done when the course was delivered at HKUST. Another exciting recent development is a kind of courses called Massive Open Online Courses, or MOOCs. What you are taking now is a kind of MOOC. MOOC platforms allow educational institutions to offer high-quality online courses to a large number of students, usually in the tens of thousands, or even over 100,000 in some cases, from around the world for free, that is, without paying any fee. Two major providers of MOOCs are Coursera and edX. HKUST is a part of both, and you can find out more by going to Coursera.org or edX.org. Let's now take a look at operating systems, or OS. Operating system is basically the system software for controlling and managing computer resources, including the input and output devices, such as hard disks, your keyboard monitor, and printers. Some of them could be shared by multiple users. Some popular OS, including those for Apple computers or Mac OS used by the Mac PCs, and iOS used by iPhone and iPad. Microsoft started to market MS-DOS in the early 1980s and Windows OS in the mid-80s. The latest version is Windows 8, which provides better user interface for mobile devices. Other OS including Unix and Linux, which is also a Unix-like OS. Another popular OS for mobile devices is Android, developed by Google. Android is developed based on the Linux kernel and has now the largest market share among all mobile OS. These are some of the important services offered by an OS. One of the most important tasks is to manage the file system, where files are stored and organized in a hierarchical structure in the form of folders. This is especially important when you try to search and retrieve a particular file from a large number of files. As mentioned earlier, an OS will allow you to manipulate the file system easily through a graphical user interface to copy and delete files or move files around by dragging and dropping files to different folders. An operating system is also responsible for managing the input and output devices. When a program issues a command to retrieve some information from an input device or to write something to an output device, an OS will take over. We often have to open multiple windows simultaneously to handle different tasks. For example, when you are watching a ball game on YouTube, you may want to tweet about the team that you are supporting, while at the same time working on a programming assignment for this course, and then complain on Facebook to your friend about not being able to get the program to work correctly. The multiple windows that you open will have to be managed by the OS.